All right, back here. Wanted to do a video about a few things. I wanted to cover how to do a back test with your training strategy for free using Google Colab. I want to cover my funded futures account status, and I want to go over just some journals that I'm working on. And I started with 3, now I'm down to just 1, just because I just found a system that I like a lot, and I'm going to track that. And anyway, so if let's say you have a Pine script, a script that you like, what you can do is, go to most any AI engines out there, unless you know Python. Then what you can do is here, I'm going to copy. So, okay, so let me go back up. So you are, sorry, let me back this up a little bit. So you're going to go back to, let's do new book. So look, so you're going to go to, Google Colab, right? And then it's going to have it will be like a new notebook. And then it puts you kind of in this blank state. So then you'll click on the file, and then it's going to connect you. So then when you open up the file, then what you're going to do is upload your data. And so I downloaded 15 years of data on NQ. And so then you'll update that, and then you'll see, you can click on it so that you can see, now I have my data in there. So again, that's 15 years. Geez, what is it? I forget, it's either 1 million or 5 million rows of data. Either way, it's significant, right? So then you're going to go to your Pine script. And in this case, I've already done that. I converted it over to Python. So I'm going to copy it, and it'll look kind of like this. So when you scroll up, you can see I'm doing an Albrooks. It's kind of an Albrooks slash GAN, and you can see how it will. First of all, it won't be live for this whole thing, is because it's going to take a long time. But so once you add it to the cell, assuming there's no errors, if you click play, then you'll scroll down, and you can see this is a pretty big file. So we'll see here. Okay, so now I have the Albrooks V6 Pro backtester. Again, going back 15 years, time frame 2 minutes. And then you can see how I have the EMAs and ATRs and all this other stuff going on. So then you can see it might take a little bit. As you can see, now it's going to load. And you can do a million things with this. A lot of times what I do with this, when I run it, before I even do this, if I have a script that I like, I actually will I'll go into, my favorite AI engine, and I'll have it, okay, I'll say, here's my script. Now let's create a Python optimizer. So then I'll throw that Python script into here, and it will run all the best settings. Then I'd likely come back to something like this to have it run in Colab. So then I'd run the best settings of that script anyway. But I've been working with this script a while, and I've never done this. I've never tested this script this way, but I've done it millions. Well, I wish millions. Almost over the holidays. I was back testing numerous strategies. Thousands I was covered. Obviously, AI can speed up the process, but as you can see, now it's just running. And we'll see how it runs a little bit. So that's kind of like how so that's the first aspect of it, right? So either you can do the optimizer to find the best settings, then go back to your AI, and then have it get at least you end up with a script that you like to run it on Colab again. So Colab for optimizer, and then you'll run the optimizer on the best settings to see how it performs over the 15 years. And so with that, what I was doing I wanted to create a couple of things. So you can see here, I got 3 journals going here. Well, no, sorry, this is my trading plan. My bad. We can cover that later if we want to. The one that there's a version of this one that I'm testing, so you can see day 13. Excuse me. So on today, it had 10 wins, 6 losses. It's been winning every day at 13 out of 13, and typically I run it from London. So 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll go back and scan the trades, and these aren't the trades that I'm taking. I'm just tracking this over 30 days plus. Honestly, I'm going to probably do this for 90 days. But then you can see total 183 trades, 60% win rate, total reward 127. 109 wins and then 74 losses. So you can see my efficiency is 0.7, 0.69. So it's sure it's a little bit better than that, but it's fine. Basically, what it looks like when you load it up. This might look a little bit different because I just have a lot going on in this one. I can take out the other ones. I'm always tweaking as I do. I've got a million different versions of this one. So you just can get a rough idea. In 10 seconds, it's a little bit. Like in 2 minutes, kind of like my sweet spot. So then if you go back, just a kind of an eye test. So back here, when this is like Asia, and then around here is kind of the I forget the time frame. I know London opens around I think 3 o'clock my time or 2 o'clock, maybe it's 2 o'clock. Either way, you can see cause nice trends there. Sadly, you can see it did miss that trade down. Now I'm sure if you can't curve fit too much, but sadly, on the 2 minute it missed it. But you can see on the 1 minute it caught it. But either case, so I'm testing on the 2 minute for the most part. It is sad that it missed that nice move down. I wasn't up for it anyway, but just sad that it did miss that. You think you'd be smart enough to catch that big move down. And then you can see that was a losing trade, but then you can see some nice trades there. That one's probably lose there a little bit or break even or just kind of if you're holding into it. And as you're going along, and of course, we all know what happened today. Just crazy bull market minus right at the open. You had a wick down, but then straight up. So any indicator should look good today, honestly, right? Any indicator should have killed. And you can see how it caught a couple here, but hopefully, if you catch these big a big trend, especially at 9:30, going into 11:30, you're done, right? You don't mess around with this midday stuff. So that's kind of how this looks. Let's see. Now we're going to go back. Colab is done, and so you'll see. Let's see if it. Let's see how it did. Look. So let's go back. Ooh, max drawdown. Ooh, that's pretty high. So then what I do is, okay, so instead of going through this, I'm going to copy this and run over to my favorite AI, and then I'm going to have it take a look-see on how it did. So let's see here. Just give me a second here as it loads up. And it's thinking. And honestly, I do like to back test just so I have an idea. I don't fully. Back testing is a little bit weird. I don't know how reliable it is, but I think it's just a good exercise. I still believe, and just from my own experience, that discretionary trading is the way to go. But if you're looking to fully automate, then this is kind of a cool thing to do. And also just to learning what system you have. And so, yeah, it's kind of analyzing it. So it's saying that basically the same pattern as my other one, 7% stopped out, 20% of the time the target was hit. So the win rate is, in London, 25%, pre-New York, 30%, open, 36%, almost 40%, then New York AM, 32%, and then PM, 30%. So the cash open is almost break even. And so now it's kind of looking at, so it's also now the data loaded 2017 to 2024. So that's not the full 15 years. So there might be a file truncation issue. So now it's building a kind of a change of character using. So that's the cool thing. So yeah, I use Claude for many of this. I mean, I switch back for Gemini, Claude, Gronk. I mean, there's not really one that to me stands out. But anyway, so now it's kind of like a refining. So now it's doing a kind of a focus test on the best, what it feels like the best chance to give. So again, it's looking at, okay, the open with the liquidity and the real moves. That's where it wants to test. So now, yeah, I'm done with that. I'm just waiting for it to get done. So then I'll bring this over to Colab, right? And I'll open up a new field of code, and then I will plot that down there, push play, and let's just make sure it runs so I don't waste time. As you can see now, it has the now it's doing the cache open, change of character strategy. So now it's just going to check, it's just going to test that opening. So again, there's a lot of ways to do it. I mean, sometimes you don't always need to listen to AI. It sometimes obviously lies to you, hallucinates. So sometimes it defaults to something maybe I didn't want it to do that, and we'll see how this goes. I might want it to test something a little bit different. So you can see basically that's how that works. It's just testing the signals, and so yeah, it's kind of cool, kind of just understanding your strategy. And the cool part, yeah, mine is buying the data. It's free, so that's kind of cool. And I've actually learned a lot. So out of this process, one of the things that I learned that is really helpful is that overall, breakouts, the orbs, is one of the most profitable ways to trade. So you can see I have way too much going on here. I might go through each one of these. It's some really cool stuff. So, I mean, if you look at just the 30-minute orb just look how good these signals are. If you're trading, now you're obviously not everything is going to win here, but you can see even, let's just go back a few days while this is loading. How powerful just trading the orbs are. And this is, let's just say Wednesday. Look at this. So, the London market opens. I mean, look at that. I mean, just beautiful signal there. This one was a stop out, but then massive long there. And then you can see if we go back to, now we go down to on Friday the 22nd, nice little long there. Not too great, but it did okay. And then, of course, so a lot of times, you get these nice trades during the pre-market, during London, and then during New York, all of a sudden, all hell goes loose. So this is just using the London one, which is kind of cool. If you turn it off and just do New York, so then you get a little bit different, some different things going on, just because obviously you're just playing in New York 30 minutes. You can see, look at this nice long breakout. So I guess kind of going back to what I said, the data that I ran, I mean, running thousands of, just thousands of strategies. This one won almost hands down over a 15-year period. Learning to take these breakout trades, and so that's why I coded it. Now you can see that my favorite window is a trade, kind of like that 9:30 to New York time, and then be done. You can see later in the day it gets choppy, but we can kind of just do an eye test real quick as we're waiting for the Colab to process. Let's kind of go back a little bit. So yeah, I mean, you can see the eye test is pretty good even still. So you do it like sometimes these first touches, and that's why I coded it, because often and you guys know this, when the range is first tested, the first touch will often fail. So you can see how the first test on the upper band failed, the first test of the lower band failed, but then this actually was a choppy day when it comes down to this is on a Thursday on the 15th. You can see that little breakdown and straight up. So this actually would have been, unless you really get it, trading the chop that day, that'd be kind of a rough day. But then you can see later on though, if you were just doing the signals, assuming you got chopped up a little bit here, then all of a sudden at the end of the day, look at this breakdown here. And then the next day on Friday, look at that, man, look at that, straight down. So I don't even go that far. Maybe I'm on the, let's go actually go to NQ. I'm surprised I didn't, maybe I'm on the wrong, this is actually kind of on an older, I didn't know my contract month. Anyway, that is. Let's see how it did today. So yeah, I mean, pretty much kind of as expected. You can see I was just doing a demo long at the end of the day, just messing around, which is getting killed. But anyway, that's trading the end of the day garbage. But live, it was awesome. I don't know if I can get rid of this or not. Yeah. So, let me look at this. So yeah, Monday today, straight up breakout trade. Now, yeah, obviously we all know a lot of breakouts do fail, but again, the data shows if you stay consistent with it, you're gonna win a lot. And it's not very sexy. It's kind of a boring way to trade. You're just catching breakouts. You can see on Friday, not that you're going to get snagged in these breakouts. As you know, the whipsaws on NQ can be brutal, but as you can see, the eye test is pretty good there. How is this here? Just curious. So right now it's just kind of going through, and I won't. If this takes forever, I won't keep going, but just showing you what I really found is, and I love using these breakouts, using the orbs, either London or New York. I mean, honestly, I love this London one, even if I'm trading during New York. So actually, I was kind of curious. Let's see how London did. Yeah, so even today, London killed, and actually you had a breakout short. So you actually were able to scalp a little bit there, like depending on how you trade, you could be scalping a few candles there. Nice breakout down. Look at the trap long and then a breakout long. So this indicator has a lot of cool tools. I mean, it has the first and second touches. It has traps. It has breakouts. Covers a lot of bases. It's really one of my favorite indicators I've ever built. One thing I haven't published yet is this VWAP bands, which is kind of cool. So it will plot zones based on the VWAP. As you can see, it's pretty cool. You can see right at the New York long, it had you be long, and then look where price. So these bands are just sitting there. So as you're replaying this thing, so if you're going back, live. So if you play this out, because I want to buy it, jeez, play. And actually, they do move. Actually, for some reason, they're not like my GAN. They will move with the price, but it still gives you some kind of cool things. That's maybe why I haven't published it, because it's not. I thought they would be static, and actually, they do move with the price. So disregard that. I liked it, but obviously I'm still working on that one. I do have my GAN Pro boxes. I do have an ultimate version, and then this is kind of like the one that is published right now is this GAN Pro. And these are awesome levels that you can trade off of. Same GAN levels as before, as far as the way they're calculated, but I just made it more visually prominent. So again, if the premise is when price goes above, you're long, and you can see how price broke up, and then came right back down, not quite as again, and broke up. And of course, we're expecting price to get to 2,600, didn't quite get there. So what you can do is plot the secondary levels, and that'll give you another visual. So you can see it stopped right at basically the mid GAN. I kind of go back and forth because I like to take trades at the yellow, and then I like to use the red for take profit. That's typically how I do it. Let's curious how this. So you can see I can just check it on the Google Colab. So still cruising along. It might take longer than I want this video to take, so I might just have to make another one or pause this thing. So yeah, it kind of covers a lot of indicators I've been working on the past few months, and then just making this GAN one just even better, just making the levels, because really GAN to me is a zone. It's not just the price, right? So making it more zone oriented. And then I added a coded in where when you're in between zones, it automatically shows you how far away you are from the next zone. So this is kind of cool. So if you turn off the secondary one, it's going to tell you that you're 132. Not that you need it, it's just more visual. But then you can put in the minor ones too if you really want to get granular with it. If you want to like really maybe call it hyper scalp. I don't know what the term is, but I like to be trading at the main GAN lines and then using the levels to take profit, or and then use the levels for my stops. And so there's all the cool things you can do with it. You have this GAN panel up here, the table. So anyway, but definitely helped destroy and QSO. Of course, as you know, my fund of futures doesn't really show the current date, but you can see from on last few days, and then so last week, almost 6,000, 3,500, 820, and then today is around 1,200. So pretty cool thing going there. So then I do my trading plan, but worry about that right now. I do have this other indicator, which is kind of cool as we're waiting. And maybe this is going to take too long. I might have to post another video. It's just taking, it's covering 15 years, so it might take me a little while. I do have this thing called the Phantom, and it's more I don't know how to describe it, because it does really good. But at the same time, it's like I trust it, but I don't, if that makes sense. So you'll look, it captures monster trades. So like you'll lose 1,000, and then all of a sudden you win 5,000. It does really well over London, and overnight for whatever reason, like it just destroys. Using that Sunday, right? That massive drop, right? Classic. Oops. So then we have going back over. Then you can see the way it's programmed actually is it will put you in, and then when it hits take profit 1, it will take off 1 contract, and then it has take profit 2. So what will happen if, in this case, let's say if it doesn't hit take profit 1 and it comes back, it'll just be break even. So you'll see it a couple times where it will, let's see if I can find an example of that, like this. So if it's right. Yeah, take profit. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. So you got Jin Long here, right? So you took off one contract. You took off one contract here, and the price came down. It's kind of like a break-even trade. But you'll see over and over. I've been tracking it. I just kind of stopped it because it does better over London, and I don't. I mean, I just can't get up in the morning that early. I just not. Don't want to be in baker's hours, but I just noticed it just does a lot better. And not that it doesn't. It can do okay during New York. Just New York's so choppy a lot of times that this is more of a trend type of indicator. So when I was I coded it and then I started tracking it, I kind of stopped, but it's massive. I mean, I did kind of like a back test of it over on the 15 years, and it has a 40% win rate. I mean, massive P&L, massive profit vector. It's just, again, for me to trade it, I'd want to be trading during London. So it's there for people to use. I did publish it, but I don't really, use it during the day. It is kind of a cool tool. And really what all it is that 5-minute strategy. So every 5 bars, it will, I guess I should be on, well, it's on 1 minute, but every 5 bars, it's like a 5-bar candle breakout. So, but I coded it. When I watched it on YouTube, it was all manual, so I just coded it for the heck of it. So that's pretty cool there. I love the orbs. And then I'm loving this Albrook's indicator a lot. Really, really good stuff. I do have a companion, like a Vertex. Oh, yeah, it's actually good. This is how this is doing real quick. Yeah, still kind of cruising along, not doing all right. Yeah, it's kind of cruising along. Wish it kind of told me how long I had left, but oh well. So if we go back down, I've been trying to enhance the Albrook's version. So I do have this version 12 Omega, and you can see lots of, of course today you can curve fit today and make any indicator is going to look amazing. Any trend indicator is going to look really good on today. A lot of times when making indicators or things, it's just how you like it to look visually. So this is kind of like a change of character one. It's kind of a cool, the Predator. Then I have the Ultimate, and that's not too much different than the original. I do come out with the Vertex. This is a little bit different, and so the idea is, maybe I can get the signal on this one to see. So it's kind of like, that's why I have this companion indicator. I haven't published this one yet, just because I need to test it more. But if you have a long with the Vertex oscillator, then you're good to go. A lot of times I do line up. So it means some really good signals if you're into signals, which I like to see what I can code. It's nice how it gives you the smaller ones. You can see also, like, if I can find one where there's a dot there. I was trying to find one there's not a dot. That's pretty marked. Interesting how this is supposed to be a filter, hence why I must be like very short there, long. It has a circle, so you can use the diamonds or circles. The diamonds are a little bit more reliable as far as that goes. You can see how indicators you can carve, everything can be good, and the market just bounces up. So what I did is I added the GANs on here, so you can see you're shorting. You'd have some confidence, but once it broke above the GAN, you'd be looking for a long. So that's why I kind of threw on the GAN on here as a reference point. So then you can see nice GAN level here, shorting into a GAN. We never liked that too much. Yeah, so the Vertex actually think has some potential too. I might be publishing that later this week. So yeah, just always working, striving to improve stuff. So anyway, let me see where we're at on this Google Colab. Still kind of cruising along. So what I'll probably do, pause here and wait for this to be done and see what kind of results we get. And again, I probably listened to AI too much on this. It took the best, expectancy, or the best results, I should say, and then it made a whole new script targeting that one result. So maybe I could have been more authoritative with AI. Hey, don't do that, but I was just kind of going with the flow with it to see. So I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on how to use Google Colab. So yeah, so maybe what I'll do is I'll probably stop it here, and if anything interesting, then I'll make another video about the findings and how to tweak it. So hope you guys found this helpful. And yeah, it's good to be back on YouTube, and hope you guys had a great Monday. Take care.